up the stairs to her house while she unlocked the door and turned on the lights. When I walked into her foyer, she was actually hugging the newel post on her stairs. "I've missed you, home. Tomorrow I will pick up a sweet dog or cat to foster and return to my regular existence, which, while somewhat boring, won't be nearly as awful as my trip." Nina gazed at me. What did I miss? Not a thing. In 3 weeks, nothing happened. The Do-It-Yourself Festival starts tomorrow morning. Nina lifted her upper lip in a sneer. Not my thing. Oh, come on. You love decorating your house. Correction, I love paying people to decorate my house. That was definitely true. Wash your feet and get some sleep. I'll see you in the morning. Good night, Soph. Thanks for picking me up. I heard her lock the bolt behind me. Frankly, I was glad my best friend and across-the-street neighbor was back. Life wasn't nearly as much fun without her. I moved the car to my garage, placed the mugs on a shelf in the kitchen, put a halter on my hound mix Daisy, and took her for a walk. Old Town Alexandria, Virginia, dated back to the 1700s. Once a busy port on the Potomac River across from Washington, D.C., Old Town had become an elegant and cozy neighborhood. Historic Federal-style houses lined the streets, and some still had flickering gas lanterns by their front doors. Daisy and I strolled along the brick sidewalk, heading for a street that would be closed off at midnight for the next week, so the vendors would have plenty of room to set up booths and demonstrate how to do it yourself. I had my own event planning company and usually worked for large organizations, but I had taken on the Old Town DIY Festival for fun and a change of pace. So far, everything had fallen in place. The no parking signs had gone up, and I trusted the few remaining cars would be moved by midnight. Barriers had been erected to keep traffic out, but there was still room for the stragglers to move their vehicles elsewhere. Lights twinkled in the buildings and houses as we walked. If the weather held up, the week-long event should be a success. It was that transitional time between late spring and early summer. People opened their windows to let in the fresh air and cleaned the winter grime off their porches to enjoy them before the humidity set in. Flowers bloomed profusely. Lavish purple wisteria blossoms hung on porches and fences, and outdoor dining had recommenced. We turned back and approached Lark Bickford's house. I assumed she had been on the same flight as Nina. Until the death of her husband a few years ago, Lark had been one of Old Town's busiest socialites. Invitations to her dinner parties were coveted, even sought after. In true Southern style, Lark pulled out all the sterling hollowware, fine china, and sparkling cut crystal. She entertained effortlessly and elegantly. As I watched, a light went out upstairs. She was probably exhausted and dealing with jet lag. It would take a day or two for Nina and Lark to get back on schedule. The sun had just begun to show its rays at 5:45 on Monday morning, and I dressed in jeans that stretched in every direction. They were soft but not clingy. I would be perfectly comfortable, but no one else would realize they were fake jeans with the give of spandex. A crisp white blouse with the collar turned up just a little bit added the professional look I wanted. I added a string of pearls because they went with everything. Gold earrings, and a light blazer that I could discard if the weather turned hot. If I had worn heels, the outfit might have even been chic, but I knew better than that. I needed sneakers for all the walking I would do. My Ocicat, Moki, watched me from the bed. Purebred, he was supposed to have spots like an ocelot, but instead had fur that looked like bullseyes on his sides, necklaces around his throat, and bracelets on his front legs. His buddy Daisy sat on the floor nearby. "What do you think?" I asked. Daisy wagged her tail, but Moki said, "Mrrr," and jumped off the bed. I suspected that translated into, "Where's my breakfast?" After spooning tuna into his bowl, I suited up Daisy in her halter and crossbody leash, jammed my wallet and phone into a small crossbody bag so my hands would be free, and collected my clipboard with all the relevant information for the festival. The two of us set off.